name's Atlanta and welcome to this week's episode of Atlanta Delivers. Today you join me in my car and we're going to be talking about the future of delivering and the gig economy. If you don't know me already, my name's Atlanta. I've been delivering now for 4 years and 3 months, a lot of that being full-time, and I've done thousands and thousands of deliveries, so I've got a pretty good idea of the industry. We're going to talk about when I first started compared to like now and the future of delivering. Let me know in the comments your opinions on everything, the future of delivering. I'd be very interested to know. And if you enjoy the video, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Press subscribe now as I upload every Sunday at 10 AM delivery content. Mostly, last week was a bit different. I did a video in Benidorm, but I do videos of me delivering and I take you along so you can see what it's like if you are a delivery driver or if you're just interested to know. Last thing, if you could follow my Instagram, Atlanta Delivers. I'm trying to get to 10,000 followers and I'm only about 80 away now. So if you could do that, that'd be very much appreciated. So as I said, I've been delivering over 4 years. I started in July 2019. So as a driver, I've been going quite a while now. A lot of people started during like lockdown, COVID, and I started before that. So I've seen it before that time also, which was quite a difference compared to COVID times. When I started delivering, I started when I was on maternity leave. Obviously now I have a over 4-year-old, which is actually crazy because I didn't want to go back to my full-time job at Gatwick Airport, but I wanted an extra bit of income. At that time in 2019, I was delivering in Horsham where I lived. There wasn't that many drivers and being able to get a shift was very different. At that time, I was only on Beelivery, and Beelivery now you can log on whenever, wherever. At this time, you could get a 1 to 2 hour shift and that was pretty much it for the day. You couldn't get beyond that to start with. So delivering back then was all fast food, no shops existed. There wasn't no co-op deliveries, nothing like that. It was like your Subway, KFC, Japanese, everything like that. I'm just thinking about where I used to go to the most. I remember probably a few months after, I remember co-op came up for the first time and I was like, huh? This is so strange. What's this about? So yeah, I remember it before there was even shop deliveries, and obviously that is such a big part now and so many people order shop deliveries. But when it first came up, I was like, what is this? Feel free to grab a drink, by the way. I've got myself a McDonald's Diet Coke. I just grabbed on the way, so get a drink, get a snack, come and sit down whilst we chat. About 9 months later, after that, I had all the apps. Well, actually about, 5 months later, I had Just Eat, Delivery, Uber Eats and Beelivery. So I was prepared to go with everything, and I was also now delivering down in Worthing, occasionally in Horsham, but mostly in Worthing now where I moved to. March, April was it, 2020, COVID hit, which obviously was an awful time, but for the gig economy and for delivery drivers, was the best time by far. We had cheap fuel. I was delivering in the car at the time. Cheap fuel, no one on the roads. The pickups were actually no, sometimes like a Friday night the pickups were horrendous. You could wait like an hour, but for the most part it was pretty quick. The pay was so good, like we could get £15 per delivery for like 10 minutes of work. It was so good. Before COVID, pay was like £3-4, and sadly that is what it's gone back to now. Also during that time, grocery deliveries became a lot more popular, and as well as fast food at the time. In that time also a lot of delivery drivers did sign up, so there was a big increase, but it was needed. Maybe not to the extent of how many people did it, but you can't complain because everyone can do it if they want. You're self-employed as a delivery driver if you didn't know. Moving on to the times now. Right, where do we start? I have not done that much delivering in months now. Obviously I'm doing it a little bit as I make my videos, but that is about it. Our pay compared to in 2019 is either the same or gone down. I'm not too sure. The pay is pretty shocking now. You can't earn good money. Obviously, like in a car, you have to pay for your insurance, which is a lot extra per month. I did swap to being on an electric bike for a year, which was good. I did enjoy it, but obviously with the weather in England is pretty shocking, and your pay is less but you've not got your expenses. But I found I didn't want to work long hours being on the bike out in the rain, the wind. It really takes it out of you. So as I explained briefly, we are self-employed as drivers, and the way it works is we get paid per delivery depending on the distance of the drop-off. But that does mean if it's a quiet hour and you only get one delivery for £3, that's what you're earning for your hour. Which obviously has positive and negatives. When it's busy you could be earning say £20 an hour, but there's other times where you could earn nothing per hour. This could change. Briefly, Just Eat did change to that you could be employed or self-employed. You had to work the hours that they wanted, but you were paid per hour rather than per drop. I think you might have also been paid like £1 extra for deliveries, per delivery, sorry. But from what I've heard, that they've got rid of that now. So that obviously did not work for them. They probably were losing money paying per hour rather than paying per delivery, which says something about the amount we're being paid. This could change without getting into details because I don't like to get into politics and don't know much about politics. But if there was a change of government, this could change that the rules, employment laws means that we couldn't be self-employed, or the amount had to change, which could potentially put one of the companies out of business, which has happened in other countries. At the moment, I have noticed a lot of increase in the groceries, which I personally love. If you watch my videos, if you don't, go check them out. I love the grocery deliveries. Recently, Tesco has joined within the last couple of months, and every day there is more and more Tesco's being added. Tesco Expresses, that is, and they're called Tesco Wish Deliveries. So you will order it through Tesco's and you won't actually know it's coming from an Uber Eats driver, but I know. And I personally love those. And some of the other shops like Lidl used to be on there, or Aldi used to be on there. Lidl's not on there. There's still a couple of supermarkets that aren't on any of the apps, which probably in the future they will join, because more people are now ordering groceries instead of like fast food because of the cost of living. I would say the main reason, and it's very easy to order on your phone rather than going to a supermarket. Now to the future, I believe the delivery market is only going to get bigger. Not necessarily in the way of fast food, but especially groceries, I'd say. And I imagine at some point we'll start delivering other things as well. Delivery, we already do like pharmacies, and I reckon that's only going to grow of like different things we're going to deliver, which as a delivery driver, that is great. They prioritize you to give you the same customers, I suppose, so you know the address of where you're going to, the location. So there's a lot of drivers, when I do deliver a lot, that I deliver to every day, the same customers. And also at the minute I found there is new customers that have never used the apps before. I had a couple last week or the week before that both said to me, and they were probably my age, maybe a little bit older, not like elderly or really young or anything, who were like, oh, this is my first time using one of the delivery apps. So obviously it's still getting more and more people using the delivery apps, which is great for us as drivers and the future. I'm going to look at, I'll show you I've got my Just Eat pad with my notes here. I'm just going to read this fact to put it in perspective of, in theory, how much the market is going to grow. The food delivery market 2021 was valued at $135.1 billion, and it's expected to reach $240.3 billion by 2027. That's almost double in the space of 6 years. Obviously we're 2 years into that now. I don't know how. I assume the market's still going up. I can't see why it wouldn't. I think for the market's going up, but for delivery drivers, it's not getting any better at the moment. So the future also, it could be electric vehicles. I know for Uber, it came up on my app a few months ago that by 2025, they want to be all electric. I have now looked into this a bit more, and that statement, their mission statement of being electric by 2025 is for Uber drivers in London. Already though, that's good and bad. Like, that's going to push a lot of drivers out that obviously don't use electric vehicles if they're going to really put that into place. And I believe that definitely could be the future for Uber Eats drivers as well, like myself, that you either have to be electric or on a push bike, which I don't know, is that good or not for the planet? Obviously that's great, but it's got a lot of negatives as well, having an electric vehicle. Another thing that I did see come into place a bit and now has come out of place is the whole robots and drones. So robots, when I made a video in, I think it was Manchester last year or this year, I put in some clips that I saw of the little robots delivering from Co-op, and I was like, oh, that is so cool. But obviously that's taken delivery drivers' jobs, which isn't as cool. But I believe you don't really see them now. I think that's kind of come to a stop. So obviously that hasn't worked for some reason, and I do believe even in the future, if it does come into place, that you are still going to need humans for sure. Maybe not as many as now, but you're definitely still going to need humans to deliver. A couple more things is that there's only, I believe, going to be more and more restaurants open with new ideas, new, I don't know, concepts, like the whole Karen's Diner. There needs to be more and more different concepts of restaurants which are a bit more interesting rather than the bog standard ones that we've had for years. I would also like to think and hope for, as a delivery driver, there's going to be more dark kitchens. So if you don't know what a dark kitchen is, it is basically like a warehouse where there is, like, say 10 different restaurants inside. They're working not for customers to come to, just making the deliveries. So there's lots of benefits for that. For a restaurant, obviously you're paying like such a small amount of rent because there's so many people paying for the rent, and it means you can get the food out a lot quicker. You're not focusing on customers, you're focusing on just getting the deliveries out. And I personally, when I've picked up there and I've had a tour around from delivery before, I love it, and I think that's such a good idea. I would love to see one down my way. There's one in Brighton from me, which the nearest is probably a 20 to 30 minute drive that I have been to. But if they could make one down in Worthing where I deliver, oh my gosh, and it works, I will love you forever, delivery companies. I think it's mainly Deliveroo. Like, even McDonald's have dedicated ones as well, which would work so much better than it does now. I think that's pretty much all I have to say, but let me know in the comments your opinions on the future, on now, everything. Let me know down in the comments and I will make sure to respond to you. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Please press the subscribe button. Love you lots. And I'll see you next Sunday at 10 AM. I will come back with a proper delivery video next week. And if you want to become a member, top line in the description, sign up on the website. You can view my videos 24 hours early. And follow my Instagram at Atlanta Delivers. Love you all. See you soon. Bye.